So this whole game was all about the number 11 and 12. I talked about the 11 streak with a lot of teams and they're losing on their 12th, but it might not be the case, I guess, with the Warriors because there was a lot of 12 in the game last night. They foreshadowed a lot of 11, but then they ended up winning on a lot of 12. It makes a little bit of sense because Curry is coded to the Carolina Panthers or Carolina, just like Michael Jordan. They're comparing him to Michael Jordan. Carolina equals 37 and 73. 37 and 73 are the 12th and the 21st prime numbers. So maybe the 12 and the 21 is super good for the Warriors. Also, you have like Klay Thompson, number 11, who has the NBA record for the most points in a quarter with 37. So that would coincide with the 12 again. Who knows? I'm just trying to figure this out. But anyway, the whole game was about the threes. Curry made his first three-pointer and made the score 5-8 on the 58th day of the year in their 58th game. The announcers even say that the score is 8-5. They don't say 5-8. Curry, the big way in gematria, equals 85. And I just want to show you really quick here. Curry equals 31 the small way, just like Oakland. Also equals 85 the big way. Also, I didn't get a clip of it, but the Warriors took the first time out of the game when they went down by 11, 5-16. So they were down by 11. They took the first time out of the game even. So then they make a big deal about Curry getting his third three-pointer, the 33. But look when he got it. He got it in the second quarter with 4:24 left. I mean, they were even down 41-42. Remember, February equals 42. It's all about the black history coding or just coding black people and whatever. But there's also an 11 when this happens. They mention Curry is 9 of 11. Right here. Curry has 9 of the last 11. And then they even show you the 33 or the 3-3 for three-pointers. Talked a lot about Philadelphia. Philadelphia is in its 333rd year. Like I said, Golden State used to be from Philadelphia. Also is on a date numerology of 65 like Philadelphia the small way. But they show this then. The Golden State Warriors are on an 11-2 run in the last 441 or whatever. But earlier in the game, they showed you the stat that Oklahoma City has an 11-1 record against the Warriors at Chesapeake Arena, and now they're 11-2. So, I mean, they just show the weirdest stats, and they're foreshadowing you what's going to happen. Also, I'll get to it eventually, but Andre Iguodala, I said there was going to be a tribute to him in this game, or there was something to do with him that was going to make this game special, and he pretty much is the reason that they went to overtime, and then they ended up winning. But 11-2 is like 112. Andre Iguodala, the big way, equals 112. So just interesting. They also give us this stat in the game, that Curry is 64% from 28 plus feet. I mean, just stupid. 64%. Steph Curry in gematria equals 64. Talked a lot about him in regards to the civil rights. Also, the score at halftime was the mirror. The Warriors had 46, the mirror of 64. So not only did the Warriors go into halftime with 46 points, they were down by 11, right? The whole game was about 11. Also interesting, the 46. We talked a lot about the 46 in regards to the Super Bowl, and the Broncos and the Panthers both coded to the 1985 Bears. The word Chicago in gematria equals 46. And also the small way Chicago equals 37. Once again, the 12th prime number. And, the Warriors have been being coded to the Chicago Bulls 72-10 record. So they're like connected to Chicago as well. So go figure, they would have 46 points at halftime. They're trying to get 72 wins or 73 wins to break the record, 72 to tie. There's all this stuff about Steph Curry and his three-pointers. If you write out three-pointers, it equals 73 in gematria, or just three-pointer equals 72 even. Then as they're walking into the locker room at halftime, the announcers talk about the Thunder being up by 11, and it was mostly by their defense. I'll just play the little clip here. Led mostly by their defense. The word defense in gematria is 31 the small way, also 58 the big way. So interesting, they'd be leading mostly because of their defense. And then they show this stat here, the first half stats. I know this is hard to read, but that says 58%. So the Thunder shot 58% in the first half. And then they led by 11 because of their defense. Defense equals 31. The 11th prime number, also defense equals 58. So then when the score was 52-58, the announcers mentioned there was a big thing at the halftime in the Warriors locker room, and there was lots of profanity being used by a player, and they think it was Draymond Green, and then they tell you that he says, "I am not a robot," and whatnot. I'll just let you listen to it here. So first off, how ridiculous. They don't mention this until the score is 52-58. Golden State had 52 points. The word profanity in gematria equals 52. Also, Draymond Green supposedly said, "I am not a robot." "I am not a robot" equals 143. Just like Draymond Green. No, Draymond, you are a robot. Nobody else would say that. I mean, that's ridiculous. Also, "I am not a robot" the small way equals 53. The Warriors were going for their 53rd win. It's ridiculous. I've also mentioned this 143 a whole lot in regards to earthquakes, which once again is all coded to the 58 as well. But I talked about the 143rd day of the year this year being 522. There's been lots of coding to that number as well. Even like Dick Cheney went quail hunting and shot the guy 522 weeks before Scalia died, and he went quail hunting the day before and whatnot. I mean, tons of it. If I re-talk about it, it will take 10 videos, So, but what's interesting about this, if you go from 227 to Obama's 55th birthday, it's a span of 5 months and 8 days, and it's also 22 weeks and 5 days, kind of like the 522. So, just something to think about if it's coded to Obama in that way or whatever. I mean, even David Blatt was fired after 143 games coaching the Cavs this year, the same day that Steve Kerr came back on 122. I mean, it's so coded, The Warriors scored 122 points that day. Golden State equals 122. So then, a little bit later on, they give you this stat here. Interesting, the date numerology of 65. Draymond Green, the small way, even equals 71. 71, a super significant number with the Super Bowl and tons of other stuff. The Moses coding I talked about. Super Bowl 50 equaled 71. Moses equals 71. World War III equals 71. Catholic equals 71. There's a lot of coding to this, but they put it up here. For whatever the reason, points off turnovers. Golden State 11, Oklahoma City 11. Also, there was 4 minutes and 17 seconds left in the third quarter. The quarters are 12 minutes long, so the first half would be 24 minutes, and this would be in the 7th minute of the third quarter. So literally the 31st minute of the game, they show you the stat with the 11-11, the 31, the 11th prime number. I mean, you could even go as far as to say that 6 plus 5 is 11. There was even a play right here, and I wouldn't even have noticed it if I hadn't been documenting some of these things, but it was number 9 Iguodala guarding number 9 Ibaka, and it was kind of a play where Green got a foul even though he shouldn't have got a foul. But what's interesting is the score was 75 to 76. That adds up to 151 at the time. I talked a lot about the Obama possibly being assassinated, and these 99 connections that also that number went with the number 151. There was lots of things with it. The first president to die in office was the 9th president. Barack Obama will be the 9th president to die in office if he dies. Abraham Lincoln died 9 hours, 9 minutes after being shot. Obama even sang Amazing Grace at Clementa Pinckney's funeral, which was 9 days after 9 people got shot. And he sang that on 6/26, which is 9 months and 9 days before April 4th. 4/4. 44 is a number it's a kill number. It's a number around political assassinations. That was the day that the first president to die in office, the 9th president, died. He also died 4 weeks and 4 days into his term. Martin Luther King Jr. died on that day. Lots of coding to this. But what also stuck out on this play was that number 23 gets in the play, so it's 923, 923. And remember, the total score here, if you add up the total score of the final of the game, it added up to 239. It's the mere 923, 239. The 50-second prime is 239. Literally, the Warriors had 52 wins going into this game. And right before the end of the game, there's even a 923 reference. Literally, the play before Curry drains the three or whatever, they have a 923 that I'll show you here. And Ibaka and then yet again, we get an 11 reference in this game. So Curry gets hurt early in the third quarter, but he comes back. And they show his stats here that since he's been back from his injury, he scored 11 points. And he's 3 of 5 for three-pointers. 3-5-3, right? They won this game. Now their record is 53-5. The Mirrors 53-35. Just like they show on the screen, and they even put an 11 with it. Alright, and then it's not really a clip, but just listen to what the announcers say here. They mention Kansas out of nowhere. They're talking about the college Kansas. And he's like, hey Mike, something about Kansas, blah, blah, blah. And like the other guy's like, he's like thinking, what are you even talking about this for? I mean, or at least it sounds that way. He's just kind of like, okay, why did you bring this up? It has nothing to do with this game or anything. So just listen to it really quick.
Hey, Mike, you mentioned Kansas. They're going to win their 12th straight big time. Bill Self, 12 straight. That's pretty good.
The other guy's like, he's just like, wow, that's pretty amazing. But look, the score, Golden State had 85 points. Just interesting. The Mirror, 58. Curry equals 85. And I'll show you why they mention this. It's because in Gematria, Kansas equals 11. I mean, it's so ridiculous. The big weight equals 65. Just like the date numerology that the game was played on. Also want to point out, or I guess they even mentioned that it was their 12th title or whatever, right? I said this game there was tons of 11 and 12 in it. I mean, but also Kansas, in regards to all the Civil War coding and whatnot, Kansas was the 34th and last state to join the Union before the Civil War. They even joined 34 days before Abraham Lincoln became president on 3/4 of 1861. Tons of 34-43 around the Civil War and whatnot, I've mentioned previously. So interesting that they would even bring that up. Then the Warriors go on a big run, and Curry passes the ball to number 11, Klay Thompson, and he drains a three finally in the game, and it makes the score 99-100. They go to commercial, and when they come back, they show this stat of Curry. 34 points, 11 of 19 field goal percentage, and then 9 of 12. So he shot 12 three-pointers, and then, he breaks or ties the record with 12. It's all about 12, and he had made 11 shots. Once again, listen to what the announcer says. That play left the game clock and the shot clock 12 seconds difference. And then Durant hits a three, puts him up by 4. I mean, this could be a coincidence, but The clock stopped with 14.5 seconds. Chicago, Illinois equals 145. But I'm going to make a part 3.